இந்த லைட் ஆன் பண்ண, அந்த yellow லைட் இருக்குல்ல. எஸ். ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये. ॐ. Please repeat once after me. लोकाध्यक्षः धर्माध्यक्षः कृतः चतुरात्मा चतुर्व्यूहः चतुर्दंष्ट्रश्चतुर्भुजः. So we completed the 14th shloka in the previous class, and we completed the nama with the nama Kavihi, which was the last nama of the 14th shloka. So thus far we have completed 132 namas of 1000 namas. Now we are in shloka number 15, and this shloka has 8 namas. Shloka number nama number 133 to nama number 140. 8 namas are contained in shloka number 15. 133rd nama is Lokadyakshaha. Loka Adyakshaha, the Lord of all the worlds. Adyakshaha is the word that is used to refer somebody who is presiding over something, the president, one who presides over all the functions, right? Here Shankara makes 2 derivations for this shabda, this word loka. The simple meaning is lokan adhyakshati, therefore lokadyakshaha, one who presides over the loka, therefore the lord of the loka. So this is the straight meaning. Now there could be 2 other meanings which are slightly different from this, and these meanings are derived, are based on the way the word is derived. The word loka is derived in Samskrita. In the grammar you have various ways in which the word is derived. It's called vyutpatti. Vyutpatti means the way the word is derived. Okay, and Shankaracharya takes 2 different ways of deriving the meaning from the word loka. The first meaning he takes is lokyate anubhuyate iti lokaha, meaning that which is experienced by everyone is loka. That which is experienced by everyone. So here it refers to an object, right? That which is experienced by everyone. Here loka assumes the meaning of an object of experience. This derivation in Sanskritam, in Sanskrita grammar, for those who are interested, is called karma vyutpatti. Lokyate anubhuyate iti lokaha, in which the object is pointed out. It refers to the object of experience. Therefore, Bhagavan presides over all the worlds, and he is the one who experiences, right? What is experienced by everyone, lokyate anubhuyate, and he is the adhyaksha of that, meaning he is the witness of all the experiences. So that is the way the meaning is derived in this method for lokadhyaksha. So he is the one who presides over all the worlds as the witness principle of all the worlds that are experience, are all objects of experience. So the experience at different spheres, where you have desirable experiences and you also have undesirable experiences, both at the subjective level, at the internal level, and the external experiences, the objective level. And he is the adhyaksha for all the lokas, meaning for all the objects of experiences. So this is the first derivation. The second derivation Shankara makes for this word loka is lokyate anena iti lokaha. Lokyate anena iti lokaha means that by which one experiences is called loka. That by which, meaning it refers to, it points out at the instrument through which one experiences something. This kind of a derivation is called karana vyutpatti. The first derivation is where it pointed out at the object of experience, karma vyutpatti. Lokyate anubhuyate iti lokaha was the first derivation. The second derivation, Shankara says, lokyate anena iti lokaha, through which one or by which one experiences something is called lokaha. So, through what do you experience the world? It is through the senses that one experiences the world. So, the senses backed by the mind. Therefore, the five senses backed by the mind, five senses and the mind are all referred to as loka. And he, Bhagavan, who is the adhyaksha, meaning the lord of the loka, meaning the lord of all my faculties, the five senses and the mind. So he is the one who presides over my senses and my mind. He primarily presides over my senses and mind, which means in Samskrita it is said that he is pradanyena upadrashta. He primarily presides over, pradanyena upadrashta, meaning he is the very subject itself, because he presides over all the faculties and through which the lokas are experienced, and he is the one because of whom my eyes function as eyes, my ears function as ears, my mind functions as mind. He is the upadrashta, meaning he is the very subject. In Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter, for those who have studied Gita, you can connect with the 22nd shloka of this chapter. Upadrashtanumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwaraha. And as I said, he is the eyes of my eyes. He is the ear of my ears, meaning He is the one who, because of whose presence, every faculty functions. This can be connected for Upanishad students. This you can connect it with Kenopanishad. Shrotriyasya shrotram manaso manoyat vacho havasham sau pranasya pranaha. Therefore, without Him, the eyes are not eyes. Okay, this eye. Eyes are not eyes. The ears are not ears. The Vak Shakti, there is no speech. The mind cannot think. The mind is not mind. Just like how you say, where there is no electricity, the fan is not a fan, the fridge is not a fridge, right? Nothing functions. So what is the purpose of just remaining there, right? Just the same way, without Him, none of my faculties function. So that is the second way the word is derived and the meaning is arrived at. Lokadyakshaha. 134th Nama. Suradyakshaha. Straight meaning. Suraha meaning Devata. The Lord of all the Devatas. Devon ke Dev Mahadev. And all the, here He is the Palaka of all the Lokapalakas. Devatas are the presiding deities of every law that governs or sustains this Srishti. Right? They are the Adhishtana Devata. Every natural force you take is represented by a Devata, and they are the ones who govern the natural forces. They are in the form of natural forces, and through that, through being the natural force, they sustain this Jagat, this universe. And Bhagavan is the Lord of all those presiding deities. He presides over all those presiding deities. All those presiding deities are called Lokapalaka, and He is the Lord of all of them. Meaning, Palakanam api Palakaha. The protector of all those protectors. That is Suradyakshaha. 135th Nama. Dharmadyakshaha. Dharma Adyakshaha. The Lord of Dharma. Where Bhagavan has to give results according to one's karma, one's action, He has to see what you are performing, right? He sees what you perform, and He will see whether you are doing the actions in keeping with Dharma or are you violating Dharma. According to that alone, He gives the results of the action, the punya and papa. Here we are talking about the invisible result, not the visible one. So how much punya, how much papa accrues to one person, the result is given by Bhagavan, and He gives the result very, very fairly. He is not unfair or partial with anybody. Dharma Adyakshaha. Dharma Adyakshaha. 136th Nama. Krita Kritaha. One who is the Kritaha, meaning the effect, the product, and one who is Akritaha, the cause. Bhagavan alone is in the form of the cause and the effects. That is Krita Akritaha. Krita Kritaha. 137. Chaturatma. Chaturatma. Chaturatma occurs as the 137th Nama here. It also occurs for one more time in Vishnu Sahasranama as the 769th Nama. Here Shankara says, Chatasraha Atmanaha Yasya Saha Chaturatma. Now this Nama is based on Mandukya Upanishad. For those who have studied Mandukya Upanishad, for the Upanishad students, you will be able to relate this with Mandukya Upanishad. For the others, you may maybe just make a note of it. I will try to say it in the most simplified way possible. Now, Mandukya Upanishad refers to Atma as Chatushpat Atma, meaning the four-faceted Atma. And Mandukya uses a method of revealing Atma called as the Avastatraya Prakriya. Avastatraya meaning three states of experience of the mind. Mind goes through three states of experience every day. One is the Jagrat Avastha, the waking state. Second is the Swapna Avastha, the dream state. And the third is Sushupti Avastha, which is the deep sleep state. Now, Mandukya Upanishad uses this methodology to reveal that Atma, you, Atma meaning the self, okay? Because for those who are not very familiar with Sanskritam, there is a tendency to take the word Atma as, something different from what I am. Right? Atma simply means self, S-E-L-F. Okay? So, here Mandukya reveals the self, the very self, as the one who inheres all these three states of experience and is different from these three states of experience. And the way Mandukya takes the student through is by pointing out the subject-object pairs in these three states: Stula, Sukshma and Karana level. And that reveals that Atma inheres the three stages, three levels, and is different from all the three levels, different from the subject and the object, is neither the subject nor the object in all the three states of experience. And the explanation is given by Gaudapada, who is the guru of Adi Shankaracharya. He has written the shlokas which are, I wouldn't say commentary, but explains the mantras of Mandukya, and that is called Karika. It is not treated separate from the Upanishad. It is always studied along with the Upanishad. And there Gaudapada Acharya uses the dream as the example, where he says that the waker, I the waker alone, project the dream, and I witness the dream being the dreamer. So there is a dream world of objects and the dreamer, the witness of the dream, the subject in the dream who witnesses the dream, and both are based on me. I, the waker, am alone the substratum of the dream world and the dreamer, both the subject and the object. The waker is neither the dreamer nor the dream world, but without whom both the dreamer and the dream world don't exist. The very existence of the dream world and the dreamer is the waker. The very essence of both the subject and object is the waker. In the same way, I, the Atma, is the substratum, the very essence of all the subject and the subject object pairs in all the three states of experience: the waking experience, the dreaming experience, and the deep sleep experience. And the Chaitanyam, the consciousness principle that is associated with the bodies, the Upadhi in these three levels, are given three different names. And Atma, which inheres all these three levels and that is also different from the three, therefore it is called as the fourth, as though the fourth, which is not really the fourth. Therefore, Chaturatma refers to what Mandukya Upanishad says as Soyamatma Chatushpat. So that is Chaturatma. I hope I didn't complicate too much for the non-Upanishad students. 138. Chaturvyuhaha. Chaturvyuhaha will come for one more time as the 767th Nama. Chaturvyuhaha, Shankara gives two meanings here, one from the Puranas and one related to Chaturatma that we just saw now. So, the first meaning is the one who has four different manifestations, four upadhis, Chaturvyuhaha. Bhagavan is said to have four manifestations, four special manifestations in the name Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. These four manifestations, Bhagavan manifests himself in these four ways to carry out the functions of Srishti, Sthiti and Laya. Bhagavan Vishnu manifested as Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna and Aniruddha to carry out the Srishti, Sthiti, Laya function. And the second meaning that Shankara gives here is the fourfold upadhi which we just saw for Chaturatma, the Sthula Prapancha, the gross universe, the Sukshma Prapancha, the subtle universe, and Karana Prapancha, the causal universe. These three universes are the body, the upadhi of Bhagavan. And Bhagavan, in his absolute reality, being the consciousness, inhering all the three upadhis and who is different from all the three as well. Therefore, he is as though called fourth, but he is not the fourth. It is not really the fourth, right? So, the fourth, which is called Chaturatma or Chaturvyuhaha, the fourth as it is called, is not really any upadhi. Because three are counted, this one is counted as the fourth. Just like how we see an example, you will be able to understand why, in what sense it is taken as the fourth and what sense it is really not the fourth. Say, take for an example an actor who is playing three different roles. You know, you have an actor in Tamil, I don't know in how many other languages you have such movies, where the actor, it's an old movie, where he played the role of the father and he played the role of his two sons. All the three are the same actor, and one son is a good one, the other son is bad. So that was the movie. And this actor was the dad, he was the good son, and he was also the spoiled one. So he played three roles. Or you may take any movie where, you know, an actor played the role of the grandfather, the father and the son. So he was the grandfather, he is the father, he is the son, and he is different from all the three. right? The actor is the grandfather, is the father, and is the son as well. But being the father, being the grandfather, and the son, grandson, he is different from all the three. For those who are, Upanishad says, for those who are unaware, for the ignorant, Atma is counted as the fourth. Chaturtam manyante. For the wise, they know that though people call it as the fourth, it is not really the fourth. So, Atma is not any state of experience, because there is a tendency, because Upanishad uses Avastatraya Prakriya, people tend to understand that Atma is experienced in a state which is beyond the waking, dreaming, and the deep sleep state. So, somebody has to go beyond the three states of experience, say some deep meditation or samadhi or something, where you experience Atma. You don't need to experience. Atma is not the object of experience, it is you, the very subject. And it is not any state of experience. All that myth is broken by stop aliye. So all those myths are broken by Mandukya Upanishad. The states of experiences are variable. However, the experiencer, and though the experiencer and the experienced objects vary according to the states of experience, the Chaitanyam, which inheres all the three states, is invariable. That is Chaturvyuhaha, and Bhagavan is called so. 139th Nama, Chaturdhamshtraha. Now this refers to the Nrsimha Avatara of Bhagavan. With reference to Nrsimha Avatara, Chaturdhamshtraha. Dhamshtra means teeth. Those protruding teeth that are generally seen in carnivorous animals. You have those four canines that are projecting. No? In Nrsimha Avatara, when Bhagavan assumed the face of a lion, he had those four canine teeth. Yeah. So, with reference to that avatara, he is called Chaturdhamshtraha. Dhamshtra means teeth. 140th Nama, Chaturbujaha. Chaturbujaha means the one who has four arms. So he has Shanka in one arm, then he has the chakra. Shanka in his left, chakra in his right, and then Abhayahasta in the lower right arm, and then the fourth arm points at his feet, right? It's like this. It points at his feet, instructing or emphasizing Sharanagati. So, Shanka, the Shankanada, is the call of the Shastra, and the chakra symbolizes destruction of adharma. Whether the adharma, the asura, is outside of you or inside of you. So, chakra symbolizes destruction of adharma, and the Abhayahasta indicates that you don't need to be afraid of anything. As long as you hold on to dharma, as long as you hold on to his feet, that's where he shows. As long as you lead a life in total surrender to Ishvara with a bhakti that is unflinching, then you don't need to be afraid, and I will take care of you. That's what it means. So, where all our deities have weapons, and they have unique weapons. So, you name the weapon, it is unique to that specific deity, right? And you don't need to be afraid of weapons. Weapons are not for destroying you. Weapons are for protecting you. Right? The police have weapons. The army men have weapons. Why do they have weapons? They have weapons to protect the people. So Bhagavan, who is the Adhyakshaha, who is the Palakanam Palakaha, also has weapons. Right? So you don't need to be afraid of weapons, and he will take care of you. That completes the 15th shloka. 16th shloka, please repeat once after me. Brajishnur bhojanam bhokta Sahishnur jagadadijaha Anagho vijayo jeta Vishvayonif punarvasuhu. This 16th shloka contains 10 namas. Nama number 141 to nama number 150. 141. 141st nama is Brajishnuhu. Brajishnuhu means one who is bright, one who is self-effulgent. It is derived from the verbal root braj. Braj means shining. It means self-shining. And in Shastram, Chaitanyam is often compared with light. While explaining the nature of Atma, nature of consciousness, Shastram resorts to the light example. Why would you compare something with some other thing? Only where there are similarities, and with reference to those similarities you draw the comparison, right? So consciousness is compared with light because light makes things known. Without the light you cannot know things, and that is why even our senses and mind are compared to light by Shastram, because you know the world through the senses and the mind. And the knowledge is also compared to light. In fact, there are expressions like please throw some light in English, where you ask for more clarity, and knowledge is referred to as the light of knowledge, and the one who is wise is called the enlightened, right? So all these things where light is compared to knowledge because it helps one to know, or rather it is because of which one knows. It makes things known, and blessed by the consciousness principle alone, the mind and the senses are capable of knowing or awareing, and the senses are backed by the mind. Blessed by the consciousness, the mind gains the capability to know, and backed by the mind, the senses know. The senses gain the capability to know or to grasp the knowledge in their respective fields. Now Chaitanyam makes the mind and the senses aware or know things, and it reveals everything through the mind and the senses. And this Chaitanyam, how is the Chaitanyam known? Chaitanyam is not an object of knowledge. It cannot be known through any instrument. It need not be known through any instrument also, because it is self-evident. If I ask you how many people are there in the class, you may just look up to your window and you may say there are 25 people in the virtual classroom, and there are about 4 or 5 in this classroom here physically. So there are about 30 people here, right? So when this question is asked, you use your eyes and you gain the knowledge as to how many people are there in the class, right? So the eyes backed by the mind gains the knowledge. In the presence of consciousness, the mind is capable of knowing, and where the eyes were backed by the mind, you could look up to the number and say it is 30. Now, when I ask you, are you there? Now, you don't have to look around. Right? Are you there? You say, yes, I am. I am. So, what instrument did you make use of to gain the knowledge that you are? There is no instrument that is needed. It is self-evident. And that self-evident consciousness principle is Ishvara, who is called Brajishnuhu here. That is the 141st Nama. 142 and 143 we will do it together because they are related. 142nd Nama is Bhojanam and 143rd is Bhokta. Bhokta occurs for 2 more times in Vishnu Sahasranama as the 500th Nama and the 888th Nama. Here it is the 143rd Nama, and we will see that the derivations are different in different places. Here 142 Bhojanam. Bhojanam is food. The food that is enjoyed. That is Bhojanam. And Bhagavan is called Bhojanam, which means what? Whatever food you take is none other than Bhagavan. You are supposed to be eating Bhagavan himself. Okay? It is not that you pray. It is not that you just pray and say thanks to Bhagavan for giving you the food for the day, right? The bread of the day, and you eat what is given to you. The giver of the food, and also the Bhokta, the very consumer of the food, is Bhagavan himself. Bhokta, the enjoyer. What is eaten is Bhojanam, and which is Bhagavan. And who is the eater? That is also Bhagavan. In Bhagavad Gita, at various places, Bhagavan says, I am the light of the sun. It is me, because of whom the sun functions as the sun. Without me, the sun is not there. It doesn't have existence at all. And without the sun, there is no moon. And without the sun and moon, there is no nourishment to earth. There cannot be plants, there cannot be life. Right? The earth is not nourished. There is no rain. So I am the rain, I am the wind, I am the sun, I am the moon, I am the nourishment that goes to the plants from the earth. Therefore, it is me who you experience in different form as natural forces, and it is me who also grows as crops, as various food crops. Right? So, plants that grow from the earth, drawing the energy, the nourishment from the earth, become food. And it is Bhagavan alone who is in the form of the food also. Food in our tradition, or you can say generally you take any food, it can be categorized. Our Shastram categorizes food into 4 major categories based on the way they are consumed. The 4 major categories are Bhakshya. I'll first list down the categories and I'll tell you what they are. Bhakshya is the first category. Bhojya. The third is Lehya. Lehya. And the fourth is Choshya. Bhakshya, Bhojya, Lehya and Choshya. Bhakshya is that category of the solid food which you chew and eat. It is chewed and consumed. Bhojya are liquids which you drink. Lehya are semi-solids like honey which you lick and eat. You are not supposed to just drink or swallow honey. It is not good for your health. You are supposed to lick and consume honey. Choshya is the fourth category, which are those foods which are sucked and consumed. Like you have this variety of mango, being mango season here. You have one of those varieties called rasalu, right? You just make a hole, just bite the mango in a corner, and you squeeze it. You will be able to suck out the pulp. The pulp will be very juicy. The pulp itself would be very juicy. So that is choshya, that category. So all the food, Bhagavan says, all these 4 categories, he says, I am in the form of the Vaishwanara Agni in your stomach. Okay, I am in the form of the digestive fire, the Vaishwanara Prana, and along with the functions of the inhalation and exhalation, the Prana Apana function, I digest this food that you consume. Every damn thing that you consume, I digest the food, being the Samana Prana in your stomach. Samana is the one that breaks the food, splits the nutrition. Right? So I function as the Samana, and I am very much aware as to which nutrition is contained in which food, though you are not aware. I am very much aware, and I break it down, and what I do, I know which nutrition has to go to which part of the body, and I send it through my friend Vyana, who is also me, cannot be different from me. Vyana is the circulatory system. Okay, that is taken through, so the nutrition is given through the blood circulates all over the body, giving oxygen and nutrition to all the parts of the body. That is also supplied. Therefore, Bhagavan is the food, he is the Bhojana, and he is also the one who consumes the food, the Bhojya. Now, as far as Bhojya Nama is concerned, Shankaracharya says, Bhojya Rupataya Prakritir Maya Bhojanam Ityuchyate. He says, it can also mean the food for all sense organs. Food meaning food for all sense organs also. So food for all sense organs is food for the eyes is the entire Rupa Prapancha. Food for the ears is the Shabda Prapancha. Like that you have food for all the 5 sense organs. The food is also Bhagavan, and the one who consumes the food is also Bhagavan. And the objective world from which your senses draw their food is the Maya or the Prakriti, which has modified as this world, and which is consumed by the sense organs in their respective field. And Prakriti is not separate from Bhagavan, and therefore Bhagavan is the one who alone is in the form of Prakriti, the Bhojana, and who is also the Bhokta. So Bhagavan is the Bhokta, enjoying the objects as the Purusha, the individual Jiva, and at Pralaya, what happens? The entire Prakriti is resolved into Bhagavan, right? Resolves into Brahma. So Bhagavan as though consumes the entire world. He swallows the entire world, right? At Pralaya, entire Prakriti resolves into Brahma. Therefore, Bhagavan is Bhokta, and the Prakriti, which is Bhojana. That is the 142nd and 43rd Nama, Bhojanam and Bhokta. 144, Sahishnuhu. This also occurs as the 565th Nama. Sahishnuhu means one who has absolute tolerance. He is the one who has the capacity to endure and tolerate anything. Here Shankaracharya says, Hiranyakshadin sahate abhibhavati iti sahishnuhu. He was tolerant towards all the atrocities of asuras like Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. He was tolerant. Why did Bhagavan tolerate all of them? What was the need for Bhagavan to tolerate even all the bad people, all the terrorist organizations today who destroy innocent people, who bomb countries? What is the need for Bhagavan to tolerate all those bad people who swindle away the money of innocent people, who are corrupt? What is the need for Bhagavan to tolerate? Because every person has both punya and papa karma, and Bhagavan being the very law of the action giving result, that karma gives phala, this law is also Bhagavan, and he is also the giver of the results of one's karma. So Bhagavan gives the palan. As much as Bhagavan gives the palan of the papa karma of that particular person, he is also the one who gives the result of the punya karma that that person has. He is impartial, and he has to be impartial, otherwise he cannot be Bhagavan. Right? So that was how, if you know the story of the Tripurasura Vada, Tripurasuras were actually originally Shiva Bhaktas, and then they turned arrogant, they turned bad, and they also got a boon from Brahma, which is a very complicated one, because they, the usual pattern, no? They ask for Amritatva, and Brahmaji says, no, I cannot give you that. So they give a puzzle, a complicated one, and unless, this is the way I have to be killed, they have an instruction given to Bhagavan. So they give you a condition which is very difficult to solve. So unless that condition is met, this person will not have his death, this asura. So it is as good as immortality. Right? So because they think they are indispensable, they commit all the mistakes, they take to so much of adharma that they inflict so much of pain on innocent people. And when all people pray together, it is only because of prayer that avatara happens. Okay? It is not that Bhagavan just decides and he comes. You should call him. You call him, he will come. Okay? So all of them pray, and then you have the stories you see, or you've seen in the TV serials and even in some of the movies, where all the devatas, they approach Bhagavan and they say, now you have to do something about this. And then Mahavishnu says, no, I can't do that. See, because he is Shiva's devotee, I need to take his approval. So you go there. So all the devatas go and approach Shiva, and Mahadev says, how will I kill my bhakta? As long as he is my bhakta, I cannot kill him. No, you have to do something. No, I can't do anything. He is my bhakta, he is worshipping me, and he has fallen onto my feet and asking abhayam from me. So I cannot kill him. No, he is doing so much of wrong things. Yeah, what can I do? I do see that. But what can I do? He is my bhakta. I am committed to protect him as well. And now the devatas are in a fix, so they go back to Vaikunta and they ask Vishnu. They say, hey, what is this now? Vishnu says, wait, I'll give you an idea. And he calls Narada, he calls the Brihaspati, the Deva Guru, and he tells, now you, based on my instructions, now you develop a mata called materialism. Okay? Charvaka mata. So Brihaspati, Deva Guru Brihaspati drafted a new religion, okay, a new philosophy based on the instructions of Mahavishnu, which is called Charvaka, which is a Nastika mata. And he taught that first to Narada Maharishi. And Narada Maharishi, who is supposed to be, Triloka Sanchari, he has the visa for all the three lokas, okay, on arrival. And there is nobody to question him. And lifetime visa. There is no need for renewal or anything. And there is no limitation on the number of days he can stay. It's not just 6 months. It can be any number of years he can stay. Freely he can travel between loka, not just desha, okay, between loka. So Narada Maharishi straight went to the Tripurasuras and he said, you know what? I am converted now. I changed my religion. It's a wonderful religion which Brihaspati taught me. Oh, Brihaspati has taught. Deva Guru has taught. So it has come from whom? Such a great person. So they were also interested in this, and Narada taught them the religion of materialism, because of which they were already arrogant and they also were attracted towards materialism. So what happened? The little bit of dharma that was there with him, with those three fellows doing the Shiva Puja and the Shiva Bhakti, what he did, he kicked the Shivalinga that he worshipped. Right? He took to materialism, Nastika Mata, and he kicked the Shivalinga. And that is when Shiva was all set to destroy. He is no more my Bhakta, so I can destroy him now. Right? So he took his Pinaki, and the rule that the Tripurasuras wanted, the way their death should be. They said, they wanted 3 lokas for themselves. 3 lokas they created. 1 loka in gold, 1 loka in silver, and 1 loka in iron, bronze, something. Yeah. So 3 lokas they created, which were revolving in the Antariksha like that, like other planets. And the instruction was, the condition was, when that time when all the 3 come together, and that man by whom in just one single arrow he smashes through all the 3, the arrow must penetrate through all the 3 lokas. Loka, the arrow that I shoot from here will not even go and reach the wall, it will fall even before that. Right? So that man by whom the arrow is shot, and that arrow penetrates through all the 3 lokas, that time the 3 lokas will burst. That is when our destruction happens. So this seemed so impossible for the 3 of them, and they were having a gala time. And now Bhagavan took his Pinaki, and when the way he rose up taking the Pinaki, Brahmaji said, Indra gave his Ratham, he gave his chariot for Bhagavan Mahadev. And Brahmaji said, I will be your driver. I am happy to be your driver. And Agni Devata said, I will be the arrow. And Vayu Devata said, I will be the Viryam of the arrow. I will be the velocity of the arrow, the speed, the strength of the arrow. This, all these are stories from the Puranas where Bhagavan takes and he shoots one arrow, the Tripuram bursts, and the Tripurasura Vada happens. And all the innocent people who were held captives by the Tripurasuras were freed. So this is the wonderful story. The place from where he shot the Tripurasura is Ujjain. So it's a wonderful place, one of the Jyotirlingas. I don't know why I got into the story. I mean, the mode of narrating the entire story, I enjoyed it. But so that completes the 144th Nama, Sahishnuhu. It looks as though Bhagavan is very tolerant, because he is even tolerant towards me in spite of all the atrocities that I do. Why? Because I have some Punya Palan left, right? So I better correct myself, all the mistakes I make, and I make use of my bhakti to refine myself, rather than, being slayed by him for the papa karmas that I take to, and for the arrogance that I hold, right? So this is very important. All these stories are just not for, bedtime stories that we listen and we sleep. They are intended for the purpose of communicating values to people. Okay, so that is Sahishnuhu. And one more Nama. No, I think it's time up. We will see from the 145th Nama onwards in the next class and next week. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. So you must have got the calendar. You must have got the calendar for the next 2 months, for the month of May and June. We will have our regular class next week, and the week after from that, from the month of May onwards, you can follow the calendar. We will not have class in 2 weeks, for 2 weeks in May, the first week and the third week. The first week I am traveling, both weeks I am traveling. The first week we are going on a retreat to Coimbatore, the 2-year course students, and we are going to study Vakya Vritti, a text by Adi Shankara Acharya. And the third week I am traveling along with my guru for the retreat that he is holding in Rishikesh. So those 2 weeks I request you to excuse me from Vishnu Sahasranamam class, and we will have additional classes as discussed in the month of May and June as per the schedule sent to you. Hari Om.